Hello everyone, so today is kind of like, I don't know if it's like a more serious video, it's just like my personal experience with something that happened, and it actually kind of ties into the beginning of my collecting. So that's why I do want to talk about it. And it's also to like warn you guys, not even warn you, but just like be more careful, because I don't want any of you getting hurt, and I don't want any of you going through like pain. But to start off, I do like to say I don't think of myself as a victim in this situation. I feel I was lied to and manipulated, but I'm not the victim in this situation. Somebody else was the ultimate victim, and they shouldn't have been put through this. So I started collecting probably 6 years ago, and it actually ties into when I first got into anime. So when I first got into anime, a friend of mine would leave church, the girls' Sunday school lesson, and him and I would leave, and we would go to the gym in the church and would watch Oran on their cell phone and Black Butler. So those are like kind of my first anime, and then I kind of dropped off anime just because, and I also used to play like World of Warcraft, for example, but I stopped because as I got up later years in high school, I started taking advanced placement courses, and I didn't have time. Like one semester, I had biology, chemistry, and physics all in the same semester, so not an easy time. And then when I had my daughter, I had so many complications during the labor and post-op that I was on bed rest, and the only thing I was allowed to do was basically sleep and breastfeed. And I later got a post-op infection, so it extended my time. So I spent a lot of time in bed, and that's when I started marathoning anime, like 2 series in a day, and that's how I actually got into collecting. And then I got a bit more active on my Instagram. And so I'm like 20 when I'm getting more active on my Instagram, because I did have my daughter at 18. And basically when my collection would start blowing up more, and I actually got the most followers. I got like 1,800 in one night once, is because I did daily reviews, and the ones that got the most views at the time was Yuri and Ice at the time. And I'm thankful for everybody who followed me, thank you. But it actually how I got in contact with this person, and I'm not going to reveal their identity because I don't want a person who's in this situation to be brought into this, basically. So when I think it was, I don't remember which of us reached out first, but their post was shared by Viz Media on their Instagram, and then I saw that they were a collector, so I started following them, and I don't remember which one of us reached out first. I honestly don't, because it was so many years ago. Like, I was 20, I'll be 25 this summer, and we started talking, and then I did put them in one of my posts for my 22nd birthday, because I think we started talking when I was 21, and in my 22nd birthday, saying they're like my online buddy. They would comment on my post a lot, and I'd comment on theirs, and we talked, and we shared like memes and like hentai memes and like funny anime stuff. And I kind of thought, because I was kind of new to the anime community, I guess, that like everyone in the anime community is good, because I had a bad relationship with my daughter's biological father. We never should have been in a relationship. But that's neither here nor there. And I later became very close with this online friend that I opened up about everything. And they told me a lot of things too. They told me that their ex cheated on them, and a weird lie they told me. And I'd also like to state, they did tell me they lied about everything, so I don't know which, like, did they lie about all lies, or was there truth? I'm not sure. They told me that their ex cheated on them. They told me they got in a car crash, and so they're blind in one eye. They were working 12 hours, so we couldn't really talk. And then a weird lie they kept up for the entire time until everything hit the fan, basically, is that they were virgin, which I don't understand, because I am very sex positive. I worked at Spencer's for 4 to 5 years, and when I was a supervisor, my section of the store was bondage, toys, and lingerie. And I'm very sex positive. I think there needs to be more information, so I don't have like this virgin fetish. And I'm obviously not a virgin. I have a daughter. So it was a weird thing. And that turned out to be a lie, which I don't really care, but I just thought it was a weird thing to lie about. And kind of early on in our online friendship was a random person contacted them, and then they contacted me saying how, and they like attacked me personally, which, you know, haters on the internet, trolls, you know? But the weird thing looking back now is that they knew stuff that we only shared through DMs. So unless this online friend of mine told them, or this online friend actually made this account, because this person's account looks very fake, and I think it's not on the internet anymore, so, you know. And the weird thing during the whole thing is they never attacked them. They only attacked me on my character, on my personal, like, personality, and how that I'm only after them because I want another child and all this stuff. And they attacked, like, the other person's looks, but the other person didn't really do face reveal, so I don't know how they would have known how they look, how they, like, their race. So it was really weird. So my theory now, which I don't have proof of, but this is just my theory, is that this person made this account to push me, because when this happened, they reacted with, well, do you still want to talk? Do you still want to, like, that kind of stuff, not like, you know. So it was very weird looking back on it now, especially with final messages this person sent me, which I never responded to, because I don't know if they're full-blown narcissists, but they do have narcissistic tendencies, because they do admit I was their supply, which all narcissists or people with narcissistic personalities need. And so that was a weird instance, but we did do this kind of like online dating, which happened a couple years later. But I remember them telling me they had never been to a con, and Anime North is a con I go to in my country that I'm a big fan of, and I was like, oh, you should come to Canada, and we should go to the con together, because you've never been to a con, and all this stuff. And then as the con got closer and closer and closer, they said they couldn't do it, and I was saying, like, if you can't, that's okay, we don't have to, and they were like, thanks for understanding. They told me that there was some stuff going on with their grandparents, and that they couldn't go because of that, and like they had to sell their house, and so it was a lot, and I was never mad. I was like, that's okay, stuff comes up, family comes up, that's fine. And then later, we started this like online dating thing. I don't know why I keep doing this, but we kind of did an online dating thing where we dated, but it, you know, it's online. We never met in person. They're in another country. They're in the States, and you know, it's neither here nor there. And then I later broke it off. It was like a mutual thing, and I did say, like, you know, I have a daughter, and like even before this online dating thing, I always said, I was like, hey, we're in different countries. Sorry, I'm so mismatched. It's like, it's so many years. It's like 5 years. But I don't have it written all down. Like, I have all the messages, but I don't want to accidentally leak their identity because, you know, like I said. And like we did, you know, when we did the memes, then we did like the hentai memes, then we did like fake flirting, as we called it. And then that's what later developed into real flirting, I guess. It, like, they later tell me it, you know, none of it mattered, which that's not what hurt me. But even with like the real flirting, I guess we'll call it, is I always said, I was like, hey, we're in 2 different countries, it's not very realistic. If you ever meet someone, please tell me, because when I got asked out when I was at work, or when someone would hit on me online in my posts, because I'm famous, not really famous, but amongst my friends and followers, I don't wear pants. And so I usually get a lot of comments about my thighs, which I don't mind, because I got fun thighs. And I'd always tell them, because I don't see the point in lying. It's kind of dumb. You'll get caught eventually, like this person did. And I always told them, and I always said, like, hey, if you meet anyone, like, I will support you. I'll be so happy for you. And they're also younger than me, unless they're lying about that too. it was just sort of weird. But yeah, we did this online dating thing for, I think, like, I don't know how long, maybe a year. But I ended up bringing it up that we should call it off, but we'll still be friends. And they were like, yo, that's fine. And we still were online friends for quite a while. And then in 2020, they were going through some stuff, and I was worried about their mental health because some family stuff, and 2020. And I was generally worried about them. And then at one point, they just drop off the face of the map. And I got very worried. So I posted on my Instagram, like, hey, has anyone heard from them? Like, are they okay? Because and it turned out they had just blocked me. And they reached out. They're like, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have been a coward. I should have told you. I'm just struggling with my mental health, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I understand. Like, and they'd bring up, like, they couldn't talk to me because because of, like, what we tried to do, and, like, they still felt feelings for me, which was weird, and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry, I was just trying to be your friend. I was worried about your mental health. And then they said, like, this is farewell. And then this is when I kind of went, because I thought, like, they told me, like, they were going to do therapy, and they were doing, like, some mental health stuff, which I was like, yeah, if you need me, I'll be here. But the thing that got to me was, like, and this is when I did go psycho, online stalker girl, and I'm admitting to this, is that they blocked me again, and then they went back to posting on their Instagram, like, nothing was different, that everything was fine, and that they were on their Twitter, like, everything was fine. And that's actually why I made a Twitter. Hi, Twitter followers. And the ones I've met so far, though, recently, I love all of you, and I love the manga chat I'm in. Thank you for letting me join. And so when that happened, I was kind of like, what the hell? And then I saw a post on their Twitter in a comment, and they were saying, they're like, oh, we did the same costume for my son. And I was like, what? Son? And another thing I admit to this story, not admit, I'm not lying, is in our private DMs, I have sent, like, lewd pictures of myself. Never full nudes. If I want to do that, I would start my OnlyFans up. But, like, I have no issue. We're all just meat suits run by electricity, so it doesn't bother me. So I sent them lewds, and up till the point of till I found everything out. So it happened recently too, and that's what really got to me. I was like, what the hell? Like, he has a son, and that's when I went psycho detective mode. And then I got a DM from someone in my message request, because all my social medias, they go through message requests. They don't come straight to me because I've had actual online stalkers before. It was someone from one of, those, like, Instagrams where people will, like, make the Instagram for their child? It was, like, one of those. And so this person reached out being like, you're messing this person's life up, trying to reach out to their family and friends on Facebook, you're freaking them out. And another thing is, like, we never added each other on Facebook because they told me they didn't have Facebook. Because they thought it was stupid. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Because I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago when Instagram crashed, they were freaking out because they couldn't talk to me that day. And I was kind of annoyed too, because we talked every day. And it was also probably part of the love bombing technique a lot of people with narcissistic personalities use to keep you in control. I was like, Facebook, mess up his family, risk his life, what is going on? Because they actually use that. So I replied to them. I was like, I'm not sure who you are. It's like, I am their online anime buddy. I didn't know they had to risk their family and life to talk to me. Before you call me a stalker, which I admitted to being a stalker. I was like, just so you know, I've blocked him on all the socials I had. And I don't know who you are, but I do wish you the best. And that person never responded until later. And then after that, because they said risk their family and life to talk to me, I was like, what is going on? I need answers. I'm one of those people, I need answers to everything. It's just the way I am because of everything I've gone through in my life. And so I went and used a friends of mine's Facebook, and I was looking, and I found that they must have just blocked me on Facebook years ago, so I didn't know about their like private life. And this is the thing: if they had just told me like 2-3 years ago they had met someone and they had kids, I would have been so happy for them. Like, I don't know why they lied. I was their supply for their narcissistic tendencies, but like, what you're gonna do. And this is my thing: the person who reached out to me was actually the mother of their children and girlfriend or wife or partner. I'll say partner. I don't know her status. I ended up talking to her for a bit. She ended up lashing out at me, and I do not blame her for it. What she went through was a terrible experience, and I'm so sorry. I don't think you'll watch this video, but if you ever do, I'm like, because she ended up saying like, oh, you saw that he had a child, don't pretend you're innocent. And I genuinely didn't know, because when I confronted him with it, I said, I was like, oh, speaking of kids, because we were talking about like anime kids in this one series. I think we were talking about like Deku being All Might's son and how it's a like precious relationship. And I was like, speaking of kids, your son is really cute. And then was like, what son? I was like, oh, you post about it on Twitter. I was trying to get them to tell the truth. Because like, once again, they were just like, I'm a virgin. I'm like, okay, cool. And they're like, oh, that's my cousin's. And the partner ended up attacking me like, oh, like, don't pretend you're innocent in the situation, blah, blah, blah. You knew, and I took the screenshots because I don't delete receipts. And I said, I genuinely didn't know. He lied about it to me when I confronted him about it, so I don't know why you think I would lie about that. Once again, I'm so sorry. I'm done. I don't want to be a part of this. Like, let me be free. But before he ever reached out, it was the partner, and that's when I responded. And then like a week later, they responded through the partner's gram, because they were blocked, and they said this, and I hope this will still record if I click on it. Let's see. Okay, good, so I can read it. And they said, it's so-and-so. I never considered you more than a casual online associate. I wanted to set things straight with you so that everyone in the situation can get closure and everyone can put it behind them. I'm sorry that I led you on by continuing to send memes and talk about anime and anime lewds with you. Making things seem normal with you when I was dating someone was stupid. I should have told you and distanced myself from a long time ago. I did not lie and manipulate you for years. Remember that. I don't know why you saw it that way. Yes, we dated. They did the quotations. For a little bit, but I broke that off a long time ago because it was going nowhere. But I did not cheat on my girlfriend with you while she was pregnant or when we recently had kids. I did not tell you about them because I knew you would have a bad reaction. I'm sorry that you felt that I hurt you and led you on for this many years. Also, when someone says, I'm sorry you felt this way, or you felt like I hurt you, they're not apologizing. They're gaslighting. But I felt nothing all these years besides having someone to talk about anime. I wish you the best. Please don't ever try to contact me again. I hope you have a nice life. And I said, I told you multiple times during the years we've been talking, I would support you if you found someone, so I don't know why you would say I would have reacted badly. I reacted badly now because I felt horrible for your girlfriend, and you only a few months ago told me you blocked me because you loved me and shit, which was one of the things he said. I even asked if you had found someone else, but you kept saying there's no one and all kinds of lies. If she wants, she can go and read every conversation we ever had, as I have nothing to hide. I feel horrible for your girlfriend and for your kids. I would have been perfectly happy just being anime buddies, so I still don't understand why you felt the need to lie for years. I hope she and the kids have a good life, but for you, I could care less. And that was one of her Instagrams, so I understand why he's doing these like nice little conversations. And then this is another one of her Instagrams that he sent, and then he said, this is later after her and I talked for a while, because she was like, he deleted all your conversations, can you send me screenshots? And I did. And this is after all of that. He says, I think I owe you an explanation. The truth is, I never loved you, never liked you, never had feelings for you, never found you attractive or any of that. I'm sorry I lied and manipulated you for so long and used you to validate myself and make myself feel less lonely. I got hooked on that feeling of being wanted because I was so lonely and messed up. When I met someone I actually like and love, I started to give them all of that. But at the same time, I couldn't get out of that routine of messaging you and all that. And I should have been honest from the beginning and left you alone, or left you at basic friend level, but I didn't, and I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to use you and lie for so many years for no reason at the end of the day. Never should have held you back or hurt you, and you have nothing to do with all that is going on between me and my girlfriend. That's all on me, and I have to live with that. I wish none of this ever happened, though, since I never had feelings for you beyond a regular online friend, never should have lied to my girlfriend, and I'm a piece of shit person for doing so. I hope you can move on and have a nice life. Like, yes, that sounds nice, but it also sounds completely different than the other message he sent earlier. So we're gonna go over here. Okay, so recording. And this is one I found sent through my Facebook Messenger in the request. And this isn't through one of her accounts. It must have been one of his other accounts. So it's not as pretty and as nice. And, oh, I'm taking responsibility. And she later, when she got trying to rationalize what happened to her, she was like, he's trying to go through therapy. I hope you move on, blah, blah, blah. And once again, I do not fault her, because what she went through is unfair and she never should have gone through that. Honestly, for me, I do not care that says I don't love you. I don't care about that. It's just simply the fact I was lied to, and I don't mess around with people who are in relationships, because I'm always thinking about the other person, and I think cheating is trash because I've been cheated on before, and I opened up to him about that, so amazing, right? And this is the last message, which I never responded to these last ones I've read to you before, the ones I said, like, I don't care about you. I said, oh, okay, so this was in my Facebook message request, and it says, all I have to say is fuck you. I couldn't stand you. I never liked you. I think you're ugly, stupid, and annoying. You talk weird and like anime too fucking much, which is weird because we started talking in the first place is because we're both collectors, but alright. I only used you for attention and to have someone around to control, but I should have gotten rid of you a long fucking time ago because I never felt anything towards you. Now you're doing nothing but ruining my relationship with someone I actually love, and that make someone that I actually love, and that makes me hate you. Okay, hate me, I don't care. You couldn't take the hint of getting blocked. Okay, getting blocked is the coward's way out, and you should have been honest. For someone who's saying they manipulated me for years, they obviously learned nothing about my personality. I need to know answers about everything, so blocking me and moving on without answers is not gonna fly. If you had just said, like, hey, I lied to you, because they had, and the reason I found out they had kids was not through messages. Oh no, there was a news article from their town that they had the first babies of the year in 2020. That's how I found out. And that makes me hate you. You couldn't take the hint of getting blocked, and you had to be a baby about it. You drew me back to the feeling of controlling someone who stupidly believed I liked them and believed everything I said to them. That was the rabbit hole I was talking about. All I did and wanted was for you to be out of my life. I tried to block you because I never even liked you, not even a little, but instead I entertained you and fed my ego. I lied about everything, and now I lost everything because of you and what I said and did with you. So he's like admitting that he lied and it's his fault, but is blaming me. So, you know, people with narcissistic personalities are incapable of taking self-responsibility, so it doesn't surprise me. Yes, most of it is my fault, see? But instead I entertained you and fed my ego. Yeah, he does say this twice, just so you know. Yes, most of it is my fault, but instead I entertained you and fed my ego. I lied about everything, and now I lost everything because of you and what I said and did with you. Yes, most of it is my fault, and all I had to do is all my fault, but all you had to do was leave me alone. Now I hate you because I lost my chance of having a normal life with my kids and now my ex. I know I'm not innocent. I know I'm a bad guy in this, and this is all my fault, but I wish you would just go away so I can get my family back, and she wouldn't think I want to go to Canada to be with you. Hey, Canada doesn't want you. Stay in your dumpster fire of America. Because all I want now is my family. I'm done lying and I'm done being deceitful. I just want everything to be normal again. Well, and that was the last thing I never responded to. I don't know if they broke up. I have had no contact. But my point is, not everyone is in your best interest. And once again, I'm not the victim in this situation. The girlfriend is, and their kids. The reason I opened up about this is, just so you know, like, not everyone in your community is going to be a good person. And sometimes when someone is love bombing you, which is a technique of cults and liars and manipulators, they're doing it just to control you. They do not care about you. And they will say things to hurt you. I don't care that he hurts me. He obviously didn't learn anything about my personality when he was manipulating me, as funny as that is. And just be careful, because I don't want any of you guys to go through this. I don't want you to feel the guilt of this. It's not a fun time, and I just worry because they do still have their socials, where like Viz has sent them like free products, which like it's not the free products that bothers me, it's they're promoting this person. And I just worry about you guys, because if you end up talking to this person, and people with narcissistic personalities aren't going to change, unfortunately. Even, like, I do genuinely hope they get therapy and they try to better themselves, because this isn't normal. This isn't okay. This isn't how you treat another person. And I just want the best for all of you guys. The world has been a dumpster fire for the past year. The world is still a dumpster fire, and the last thing any of you guys need is more anxieties, stuff to upset you, and I just want the best for all of you guys. So, I don't know if you guys think this is a tea video or whatever, but I just did want to open up about my experience with basically being the supply for a lying person with narcissistic tendencies, which is interesting to say the least. But I do wish the best for all of you. I'm probably, in my next video, go back to just anime stuff. This is the final chapter in this for me. I just need to get it out there, because I do know some people I follow are so close with this person. Once again, I will not release their social, because I don't want the partner and the children involved in this, because they're innocent in this. The only bad person in this situation is them. So yes. I hope the quality in this video is better. I bought a camera. And yeah. Enjoy. Looking forward to my video, which I will be talking about my 3 most expensive figures and how I came to acquire them, because I tend to not buy super crazy expensive figures because I'm not a millionaire. And probably more into my developing and how I garnered the collection I have now, and how I'm still collecting, because a lot of people assume a lot of collectors are like millionaires. We are not. But yeah, just be careful, my loved ones. Even if someone like opens themselves up, they could just be lying, they could just be love bombing, they're just doing it to get to you and have something. And you know, if this person sees this video and wants to get back at me, release all our conversations. Release all the lewd pictures that I sent you. I don't care. I'm just a meat suit run by electricity. So, and I'm probably going to start up an OnlyFans maybe one day. Probably not. It's hard work, and I probably won't do it. But I have no issue with it, so I don't care, my dears. So, good luck. I hope everyone stays safe and your mental health is taken care of. And if you guys need to have a day to just be a potato, that is okay. I wish all of you the best, and that is the end for today. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, because I'm probably going to start posting on my Instagram again, because it's kind of dead. Alright, bye guys!